Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Dana Kazandar, and this will be a gentle class. You will need a yoga blanket or a towel to use, 2 blocks, and a strap or a belt. Let's start in Vajrasana, hero pose. Have the blanket and open it on your mat. And then bring 1 or 2 blocks. Bring the belt or the strap closer towards you. And just sit on the block with the knees hip-width distance apart. Hands are on your thighs. Rise up through the crown of the head and the shoulders are back. Soften your gaze or close your eyes for a few seconds. Deepen the breath. Notice any tension behind the neck or the shoulders and try to relax that area. Starting to deepen the breath, we'll go through a few rounds of Dirga breath. Empty the breath fully out. And inhale, blow your belly like a balloon. Flare the ribs, lift the heart. And a long exhale, draw the navel all the way back towards your spine. Again, blow your belly. Widen the collarbones. One more sip. And a long exhale. Keep going through your long Dirga breaths, your 3-part breath. And pay attention to the pause between the inhale and the exhale. And then the exhale and the inhale. And then starting to lengthen the exhale. Trying to get the exhale to be twice as long. Keep maintaining your long, deep breaths. And as you rise with the crown of your head, rotate the right chin to your right shoulder. Keep the shoulders down and soft, slightly back. And then very slowly come to the other side, left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale to one side. Stay here and exhale. And then inhale to the other side. Stay right there and exhale. Come back to the center. Start lifting the shoulders up and back and down and forward, rolling your shoulders. Connect the breath with the movement. So inhale as you lift and reach back and exhale down. Start using the elbows, opening from the elbows back and down. Inhale, lift and back and down. 2 more times. And 1 full breath in. And exhale. Release. Find your strap or your belt. We'll get into some deep shoulder stretches. I'll face you for this one. So have the belt about shoulder width or a little bit wider. Actually a lot wider. And inhale, lift the arms up. Notice if you're hiking the shoulders, release the shoulders down. Start leaning back with the arms even more. And then notice the ribs are flaring out. Draw the ribs in. Have a little tuck in your hips. Try to keep the neck soft, even if that means you have to look down. The elbows can be bent, but the work is towards extending the arms, pulling the strap in opposite direction. Take a full breath in to lengthen. And with your exhale, come back to the center. And notice how that feels. If that was too easy, bring the hands a little bit closer. If it was too deep, widen your grip. And inhale, lift up and lean back. Maybe you go a little bit deeper, getting into your chest muscles, your pectoral muscles. Draw the ribs back, tuck your hips. Keep the neck soft, even if that means you look down. Full breath in. And exhale, come back to the center. Let's have the hands a little bit wider. And inhale, reach up. Maybe bring the hands back. And exhale, lift and come back to the center. We'll do this 4 more times. So notice if you want to go wider or narrower. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Maybe all the way back. And exhale. And one more time. And exhale. And release down. Very good. Have the hands a little bit closer this time and inhale, lift the arms up. I'll be mirroring you in this part. Have the right hand down, left arm reaching up into a bend. Look down. The arms are straight. Opening the left shoulder. Take a full breath in. And exhale. Change sides. Arms are straight, reaching the hands away from the body, bending the side body, still having a little tuck in your hips. Draw the navel back. And then lift. We'll do side to side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And lift. Option to widen the grip and then have a little rotation with the right hand up, left hand up, right hand down, and then behind you to change sides. Right hand up, left hand down, come to the front. Just circling the arms around you. And then change direction. Be very mindful how you feel here. This is a great shoulder opener, but take care of yourself. Very good. And release. Have the strap next to you. And I'll meet you back in your table. So have the blocks in front of you. Walk the hands back. You're carrying the blocks with you. Your knees are still on the blanket. The knees are hip-width distance apart. And walk the hands further front. Dip down with your chest. The head is peeking between the arms. Maybe the forehead is touching the mat. Lengthen with the sit bones all the way back. The hands are reaching the front. It's a great shoulder opener again. But be very mindful how the shoulders feel. Feeling the stretch in the side body as you lengthen the sit bones back and the fingers are reaching forward. Maybe you slide the blocks further front. But if this is too deep of a stretch, have the blocks closer. There's no tension on the back of your neck. To come out, start rounding the back, tuck your chin and then slide the blocks closer towards you. This time have the elbows on the blocks and then walk the elbows to the front. The arms are a little bit wider. The head peaks between the arms, having the forehead maybe touching the mat or hovering. Interlace the fingers or keep the hands in Anjali Mudra behind your head and have the hands reach all the way back towards the shoulders, getting a nice deep stretch in the triceps. Under the armpit, but nothing in the neck. The neck is still soft. Stay right here and deepen your breath. On your inhale, feel the ribs flare out and back. And with your exhale, completely let go of the whole breath. Keep going with your breath. And when you're ready, slowly lift up on your hands. Have the hands to the front. Slide the left knee back and have the right foot between your blocks. Lower your hips to lower a little bit more. Get deeper into your hips. Spread the front toes. Foot. Keep that foot slightly to the outside, but not too wide out. And then maybe you have the blocks a little bit higher to have the forearms come down on your blocks. Keep the breath going and try to find complete softness in your hips. A great opening in the hip flexors, but a complete softness in the muscles around your hips. If you're gripping any muscles that you don't need to grip on, let go. Bring your mind to the sensation of your breath through your nostrils. Paying attention to your inhales and your long exhales. If you'd like to bring the blocks a little bit lower, feel free to do that. You can come halfway down. Stay on the forearms and just release. You can also stay up on your hands. Lean to the left on the left forearm, but try to make sure you're still in control of that block, and sweep the right arm all the way back behind your back, dipping the hips lower, opening the right shoulder. Maybe flare the right knee out to the outside edge of the foot. Notice your breath. Gaze can be up or down. Stay right here. It's a great place to be. Or maybe bend your knee, catch the foot, and a complete long breath. Slowly release the foot. Bring the hands back on the blocks and rise up. Heel toe the foot to the center if it was slightly out, and then the blocks are framing your foot. Walk the hands back. Hands are under the shoulders. Extend the front leg. Toes are up, but keep the toes soft today. Getting into your half split. This is a great place to be if you're working on your full split. Way to help you. So try to keep the right heel on the mat, having the heel to the front, and slide the left knee further back. Slide one of the blocks under your sit bone. So it's in that spot with where the upper hamstring meets the sit bone. And then the other block is on the inside of your thigh. The block that's under you can be on whatever height. Start with the higher part, and then you can go lower. And then soften the front foot, soften the front knee, even if you have a bend in your knee. And this can be really hard and tight on the hip flexors. So if you're getting into that stretch, but be very mindful, be very careful with your back. You will feel back pain if you overdo it. If you really feel that, have the block in front and the forearms on your block. Again, relax the front foot, the thigh. Try to stay balanced on both sides of your hips. Try to keep your attention with your breath. If you're folding, slowly rise up. Move the block out of the way. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee closer. And then slide the foot back. All the way back into your table. Let's stay in table for a little bit and just sway your hips side to side. Maybe draw circles with your hips. Release that tension that we built in the hips, and your hip flexors on the left side are really feeling it. You might hear some popping here, and that's okay, that's fine. And then change directions. Connect with your long breaths in today's practice. And we'll get ready for the other side. The blocks are in the front of the mat. Slide the left foot between your hands. Start leaning to the front. Pay attention to your front knee is over the heel or slightly behind. Start lowering your hips. Both hands are on the inside of your foot. You can stay on your hands for a little bit. Try to keep the knee tight at first. Notice any gripping in the muscles. Let go. Option to lower onto the forearms. Notice, what are you gripping onto? What are you holding onto that you can let go of? What muscles are flexing and engaging that you can soften? Lean slightly to the right onto the right forearm and sweep the left arm all the way back, all the way behind you. Maybe flare the knee out to the outside edge of the foot. Notice how the back knee feels if you need to adjust that. Option to look down to help you let go even more. Stay right here. It's a great place to be. Or maybe bend your knee. Have the hand catch the foot. Having the mind, letting the mind connect to something. Maybe imagine a square in front of you. Inhale to the count of 4 on every edge of the square. And exhale back on that same square. Release the foot. Come back to the front. Inhaling to 4 on the 4 sides of the square. And exhaling to 4. Start rising up. The blocks are framing the foot. Walk your way back. The hands are under the shoulders. Extend the leg. Option to stay here if you're working on your full split. If that's okay, if the knee feels okay, slide the left heel forward, the right knee back. Have the block under the sit bone, all the way on the upper thigh. It can be on any height. The higher, the better it feels, and you're still getting a deep stretch. Keep the left foot soft, the knee soft. And this is really tight on the right hip flexors. If you're feeling it, please don't force it. Or maybe you have the block in front coming down to the forearms. Find your square again. And inhale one side, 2, 3, 4. And exhale to go back, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go back at your own pace. Two more breaths. When you're ready, start rising up. Move the block out of the way. Hands are down. Tuck the back toes. Slide the left heel back. Move the other block out of your way. And come back into your table. Keep the knees tight together and just sit back into your child's pose. Sway your hips side to side. The hands are reaching the front. And when you're ready, slowly rise up into Vajrasana Hero pose, just where we started. Move the blanket out of the way, put it to the side. From table, anchor the hands, spread the fingers, tuck your toes, and lift the hips up to your first downward dog. Sit bones are back. Draw the shoulder blades back. Heels are reaching towards your mat, and start pedaling your feet, but make it a slow pedal. Really feeling the stretch in the back of the leg and the glutes before you change sides. And then notice the head is heavy as you're gazing back. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, tiptoe all the way to the front of your mat. Make sure the blocks are right there in the front of the mat. Feet are hip-width distance apart. You're in forward fold. Keep the hands on the blocks. Allow a bend in your knees. Shift your weight forward. Feel the head heavy. Notice if your knees are trying to dip in. Have the knees slightly out right there over the ankles. Keep the blocks under the hands and inhale, find your way to flat back. The back is nice and long. The legs are straight. You can have the blocks even higher. Lengthen through your spine, pull the shoulders back. Spread the toes, but the thighs are fully engaged. And a full breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees a lot, sit bones towards each other, and slowly ragdoll all the way up. Arms overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart, and then bring the hands next to you, to your sides. Shoulders are back. So let's get the blocks again. You have one block between your thighs, and the other one is in your hands. So I'll demonstrate for you here, facing you. Spread the toes and inhale, reach the arms up. Tuck the tailbone just a little bit for the tailbone to reach down towards the mat. Shoulders are down. Keep the neck soft, and then draw the ribs towards each other. Press the inner thighs into the block. If you look at the feet, you have the toes closer to each other than the heels. You're kind of pigeon-toed, pressing and pulling the inner thighs towards each other. Have the hands reach up as much as you can, but the shoulders are down. You're engaging the core, engaging your thighs. And very slowly bend to the right. Gaze down. Reaching the hands as far out as you can. Come up to change sides. Keep the breath long. And come up to change sides again. One more time. Change sides. Inhale, reach up, and with your exhale, release down. So we're going to chair pose. Again, the feet are pigeon-toed here. Inhale, have the arms parallel to the floor, back into the shoulder socket, still holding onto the block. Engage the inner thighs, pressing the block as tight as you can, and then lower your hips. Shift your weight back, lifting the toes. Have a little tuck in your hips, lifting the navel back. Maybe you get a little bit lower. Engage the thighs, press the inner thighs towards each other. Deepen the breath. The arms can lift a little bit higher if that feels okay on the shoulder. Press the inner thighs still. And inhale, lift. Exhale. The hands are down. Roll the shoulders up and back. Sway the head a few times. Connect with your breath. And let's do it one more time. Arms are up. With your exhale, lower the hips, lower the arms a little bit. Shift your weight back, lifting the toes, tuck your hips, draw the navel back, press the inner thighs, really hold on to the block as tight as you can. Option to pulse here. Deepen the breath. And inhale, reach. Exhale, let it go, and let go of your block. Have the blocks in the front of your mat on your highest edge. The right foot is forward, the left foot is back. You have heel to heel alignment, maybe a little bit wider. Spread the toes. And you have about maybe 2.5 or 3 feet between, and the length between your feet. Scissor hug the right hip crease back, the left hip crease forward. Your hips are aligned with the front of the mat. Have a micro bend in the front knee and inhale. With your exhale, hinge from your hips. Hands can come to the block. You can extend the right leg, the front leg, if that feels okay on your knee. Keep the hips square, right hip crease back. Rotating the front knee out as you pull the hip crease back, but keep the inside edge of the foot anchored down. The back is nice and flat. Option to lower the blocks if you want. Keep pressing the outside edge of the back foot down as well. Back leg is straight. Lengthen the sides of your neck. Deep breath in. And with your exhale, you can deepen into the fold with the crown of the head reaching down. Remember, you can keep a micro bend in the front knee so your knees don't bother you later. And inhale, lift up. Have the left hand on the outside edge of the foot onto the block. And then the right hand is on your hip. Rotate the hip further back, opening the right shoulder. You can slide the block further front, gaze to the side. Right hand is up. If you put the right hand on the lower back, the back is nice and flat. You can have the block again on your higher edge, middle or low. Keep reaching in opposite direction and the head is not hanging. Lengthen the sides of the neck. Tighten the hips. Take a few breaths here. And then gaze down. Bend the front knee. You have the hands back on your block. Have them on the highest end. In front of you, about a foot in front of the right foot. And then lift the left leg up. Slide the blocks under your shoulders. Stay light on your hands. Flex your foot. The toes are pointing down. The right hip is back. If it's flaring out, you have the hips square with the mat. You're in a modified warrior 3, but fully engage the right leg. Fully engage the left leg, reaching the heel back as much as you can. Try to have the torso kind of lifting. Find your breath. What about your core? Can you draw the ribs towards each other like you're zipping the core from the belly button up to the ribs? Full breath in. With your exhale, release the left foot down, anchor the hands and slide the right foot all the way back. You're in downward facing dog. Pedal your feet a few times. Maybe add a twist. Keep connecting with your breath. And when you're ready, bend your knees and tiptoe to the front of your mat. You're in forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees a lot. Sit bones toward each other and inhale, ragdoll. All the way up, shoulders back, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart. Left foot is forward, the right foot is back. Again, you have the longer stance. Not too long. Heel to heel alignment, maybe a little bit wider. Have the blocks in front of your foot, framing the foot. Left scissor hug the left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Inhale, reach up with your arms. And exhale to fold. Hands are under the shoulders, onto your blocks. Lengthen the spine at first. Wrap the shoulder blades back as much as you can. All four corners of both feet are pressing down as you engage your thighs, squeezing the thigh muscles around the bones. Stay right here. Maybe you can lower the blocks if you want, or maybe you can fold. Wherever you are, try to create as much space as you can between the vertebrae of the spine. Keep engaging your thighs, lifting the kneecaps up as you squeeze your quadriceps. And inhale, halfway lift. Have the block at whatever edge you want. Keep the left block. Right hand is on the left block outside of the foot, slightly in front. Left hand is on your hip. Scissor hug the hip crease back again. Open the left shoulder. Gaze can be to the front. Maybe the left hand reaches back. One more full breath in. And with your exhale, look down, bend the front knee. The blocks are on higher or middle in front of the foot, and lift the right leg. Have the hands under the shoulders. Flex the foot, the toes are pointing down. Tighten the left hip back. The right leg is as high as the torso, or maybe a little bit higher, as high as the hip bone, let's say. Lengthen the sides of your neck. Reach the heel back. Allow a micro bend in the standing leg if that's bothering your knee. Few more breaths. Really reaching the feet away. Tightening the hips. And then bend the standing leg, tap the right foot back, anchor the hands, and slide the left foot all the way back. Full breath in. And exhale, release the knees down to come back into Vajrasana. So let's have the blanket first. And you can have a double fold in the blanket to get the hips a little bit higher here, or if you have a towel. Get the blocks a little bit closer. You have the belt closer as well if you need it. And then you're sitting on the edge of the blanket, kind of rolling forward, and extend the legs out. Keep the feet soft today. The knees soft. If you want, you can roll 2 other towels or blankets under the knees if the knees are sensitive. And then have the block under the hands. Inhale, rise up. With your exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. So fold forward. Let's start on the forearms first with the block whatever height under the forearms. Keep the feet soft and just hinging from the hips. All you're doing is just dipping your chest down to make sure that you're not rounding the back a lot. Stay here for a few breaths. There probably is a micro bend in the knees, and that works too. If the heels bother you, if you're on tile or wood, try to have the heels on the mat. And then maybe slide the block to the front with the hands on the block to get a little bit deeper if that works for you today. So you can stay on the forearms or deepen a little bit. Again, you're not engaging the feet. The feet are soft, maybe opening to the sides a little bit. Try to keep the length in your spine as much as you can. Not trying to reach lower, but longer. If you'd like to repeat a mantra in your mind or loud if you want, it could go something like, may I be well, may I be safe, may I be free of suffering. Keep lengthening your breath. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be free of suffering. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be free of suffering. To come out, lift the gaze, walk the hands back, carry your block with you. Have the block on the inside of the right knee. I'm mirroring you again. And then the left foot can be inside of your thigh, or draw the leg back if you want to get deeper into the hips, if that feels okay. So notice here, if you're uncomfortable on the blanket, come off and see how that feels. You can do it either way, with the blanket or no blanket. And simply have the right elbow onto the block and set the head onto the right hand. And then the left arm, the left hand is behind your head, just opening the left elbow. Gaze can be up. If you want to have more length in the lower torso, which I'd rather, slide the block further away if that's okay. And you can also have the block on the higher edge if you want. Stay right here. Keep the shoulders soft. And visualize someone that you love, someone that you care deeply for. Could be someone you live with or someone you haven't seen for a while. Visualize their face, their presence. Soften the gaze or close your eyes. And maybe you can send them the mantra. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be free of suffering. Notice if the right shoulder is tightening, wrap the arm behind you. Keep the stretch in the side, or even the hand can be on the thigh, pulling away. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be free of suffering. Roll the upper shoulder, the left shoulder down. The hand is anchored down. Your weight is all on the left hand to press up into seated again, to change sides. With the help of your hands, change legs. Left leg is straight. Right foot on the inside of your thigh or out. You could be sitting on the blanket or not, if that was uncomfortable. And then have the block on the inside of your knee. The elbow on the block, or you can slide it further front. Right hand on the back of your head, open the right shoulder. If you want, you can draw a fist in the hand and just rest the head on your hand. Pulling the right elbow away from your hip bone. If you want to go deeper or lower, please find that. Keep your deep breath. Then think of your neighbors, your friends, the people in the world. And maybe you can send your mantra to all beings. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be free of suffering. Repeating that in your head or loud. Anytime you need to release the left arm behind your back, find that if the shoulders are tightening. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be free of suffering. Slowly rotate the right shoulder down. The right hand is down. Your weight is all on the right hand to press up into seated. With the help of the hand, release the back leg, going to butterfly. So this is a great time to find that blanket under the sit bones to give you more space. You're kind of rolling forward, so you're sitting on the edge of the blanket. And then the soles of the feet are together. Option to have the block on the feet. No block if you want. Or you can slide the feet closer with the block in front of the feet if you want to deepen here. Hold on to the block and then start leaning to the front. Try to find as much length as you can. The block goes under your forehead. If this is too low, have 2 blocks or a block and a half. Whatever works for you today, use it. There's some rounding in the back, and allow that rounding in the back. Don't think too much of it. The shoulders are rounding and soft. The forehead is resting on your block. So if you're not in a space where the forehead is resting, use another block. You're not pressing the knees down or the outer hips down. Just allow gravity to work. To connect the mind to the present moment, you have an option to either follow the square, the sides of the square on the count of 4 with your inhale, count of 4 with your exhale, or go back to your mantra, visualizing yourself or someone you love or all beings. Three more breaths here. Have the hands down and lift the gaze, lift the shoulders and rise up. Very good. Have the blocks to the side in the middle of your mat and the strap next to you as well. And then we'll come to our back. So let's open the blanket to have some cushioning under the back and really take care of ourselves today. Try to have the head on the blanket as well and your hips. And then come all the way down to your back. We'll start with some core here. Have the block between your thighs, the hands are down, and just press the navel all the way back. Let me move the belt out of the way so you can see me. Press the navel all the way back to the mat. There's no space between your back and your blanket or your mat. Pressing as much as you can, as hard as you can. The hands are down. Keep the neck soft, and then gently, as you're pressing the inner thighs together as strong as you can, the navel down, start lifting the legs. And then lower your legs. Keep pressing the navel as much as you can. Once you can't control it and the back is lifting, lift up again. So we'll do this a few more times. Press the inner thighs, press the navel down, and come down for 2, 3, and up. 2, 3. Down, 2, 3, and up. 2, 3. You can go as low as touching or tapping the floor, as long as the back is not lifting. And lift at your own pace, your own speed. Don't forget to press onto that block with the inner thighs. Use the breath to help you. Inhale when the feet are coming down, and exhale when the feet are coming up. Use the breath, slowly down and slowly up. Remember, the back flat down. Press the navel as much as you can. We'll do 3 more. Stay right here, pressing the inner thighs onto the block as hard as you can. Maybe the legs are shaking. Lift the upper body up with the hands reaching to the front, gaze towards your feet. Keep space between the chin and the chest. Press the inner thighs on the block and pulse. Pulse, keep the pulse going. Keep the pulse going. Almost there. And very good. Let go of the block. Let go of the hips. Rotate the knees to one side and the arms to the other side. Really feel the stretch in the hip flexors that might have tightened from that. And then change sides. Keep connecting with your long breath. And come back to the center. Find the block again, between the thighs again, squeezing your thighs on the block. This time you can put it the long way if you want, squeezing even more. Tuck the shoulders under. We're going to bridge pose. Start lifting your hips. Maybe the feet are closer, the heels closer to the sit bones, probably. And tuck the shoulders even more. Option to interlace the fingers. That will help you not slide if your blanket is sliding or slippery. And lift the hips up. Engage the inner thighs as much as you can. Lifting to the heart towards your chin. Pressing the triceps and the outer shoulders down. Pressing the inner thighs to the block. Four more breaths. Keep the neck soft. One more full breath in. With your exhale, start coming down. Release the hands. Come down from the upper back, middle of the back, lower back. Let go of the block. And the hips are all the way down. Windshield wiper the legs to one side and then the other. Deepen your breath. Get your block again. And this time, lift the hips up like you're in bridge pose and settle the block under your hips. It could be on the lower setting, maybe higher, or higher if you want that challenge. You can start by lifting the heels. So if it's really high, you want it at the lower back, just try to find a space under the sacrum where it's really nice and balanced. Don't overdo it. So if it's really high and it bothers your back, I like it on the medium setting. Under my sacrum, all the way to the lower back, on the toppest part above my glutes. And just settle here with the arms next to you, the palms facing the sky. And notice if you're lifting from the ribs to protect that area, completely let go. Allow the rounding in the back. Allow your hips to be heavy on your block. Soften the gaze or close your eyes. May today there be peace within you. Keep the breath long and follow the sensation of the breath. May you trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Soften your glute muscles and your thigh muscles. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith in yourself and in others. May you use the gifts that you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. May you be content with yourself just the way you are. Relax your facial muscles. Widen the skin on your forehead. Have a little lift in your hips and have the block on your lower and the lowest that can be. Arms are next to you again. If this is enough, stay here. If you're feeling a pinch in the lower back, please stay here. Otherwise, maybe you extend the legs. The feet are hip-width distance apart. Allow the feet or the toes to drop to the sides. The arms can reach overhead, but keep the elbows bent. Inhale to 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale back on that square. What muscles are you holding on to that you can let go of? Where can you soften even more? Very, very slowly, have the arms next to you, bend the knees, anchor your feet, have a little baby lift here, and release the hips down. Don't rush into hugging the knees, just keep the knees up and settle your back. Maybe a windshield wiper, very softly, a small side to side, small movement. Lift the hips again. This time have the block a little bit higher on the lower back. And then lift the legs up. Flex your feet. Hands are next to you, the palms facing the sky. Feet are hip width distance apart. Allow your feet to be gentle, to be soft. You can also rotate the ankles. Can you flatten the arms? Maybe cactus the arms if you want to get the shoulders in. And when you're ready, the feet come down. Lift your hips and settle the hips all the way down. Find your strap this time. And have the strap around the balls of the right foot, pressing the foot up. And at all times, keep a little micro bend in your knee. Don't straighten the leg all the way, especially if you know that your knee is sensitive. And extend the left leg, the foot is down, and just pull the foot toward you. So whether you're bending the knee deeply or the leg is completely straight, pull the foot towards you. And then notice if you're here and you're pulling the elbows and straining your shoulders, walk the hands as close as you can to the foot. Keeping the left foot, the back of the left foot resting down, and pull the right foot higher up. You're holding on to the strap or the belt, and just the back of the shoulders are soft and relaxed. You're not pulling from the shoulders, but the weight of the hands as they're holding is pulling. If your legs are shaking, allow a little more bend in your knee. You want to feel a stretch, but you're not forcing. We're going for a release today. And then catch both ends of the strap with the right hand. Start opening the leg to the side. This time the hand can be closer towards you rather than closer to the foot if you want, and start opening the leg to the side. Left hand is on your hip to make sure your left hip is not following. Once the left hip starts lifting, then pause right there. Bend your knee and bring the leg back to the center, catching both ends of the belt with the left hand. Start opening to the other side. This time the right arm is straight next to you. The right shoulder stays down. Once the right shoulder starts lifting, pause there. Or you can go all the way down if you keep the shoulder down. Gaze to the right if that's possible. You have another option here to grab your block and put it on whatever end you want to settle the leg on it to really find the release. Without you having to work so much, just allowing the muscles to let go to soften as much as possible, allowing gravity to work for you. This is a great stretch for your psoas, IT band. Bend your knee and come back to the center. We're going to half happy baby. Have the right hand catch the outside of the foot or wrap the two-piece fingers around the big toe. And then extend the left leg again and pull the right knee outside towards the armpit. Keep the breath going. The back of your head is heavy. Your mind is here in this moment. Notice thoughts passing by. Acknowledge them and let them go. Watching them flow away. To keep your mind anchored with your breath. Very slowly come back to the center and let's change sides. Have the belt wrapped around the left foot, the left balls of the foot. The right foot can stay down or extend the right leg with the foot resting down to get the hip flexor relief in the right side. Walk the hands as close as you can towards your foot. Allow a micro bend in the knee if you need it or not. And just pull the foot towards the upper head, the upper part of your head. You're finding or feeling the stretch in the back of the leg, but without forcing. So anytime you start shaking or having to put so much strength into it, allow the bend in your knee. And then focus on the right leg. The right foot is down, the knee is bent slightly for the hip flexors to release. If you have to force the foot to come down, then bend your knee and enjoy this. Catch both ends with the left hand. Start opening the leg to the side. Right hand is on your hip. This could be your opening. As soon as the right hip starts lifting, then pause. And then flatten the back of the shoulders down. The back of the head is heavy. Deepen your breath. Pay attention to the belly rise and the chest expand with every inhale. And empty the breath fully out with the exhale. Slowly bend your knee to come back to the center. Now you're catching both ends of the belt with the right hand. Try to keep the hand straight so you're not having to pull, and then the left leg all the way to the right. Halfway or all the way. Extend the left arm, gaze to the left, the back of the left shoulder is down. And then once the shoulder starts lifting, pause. Remember that block under your thigh. You can find it. It feels really good to settle the leg on something, especially that it's straight and you're holding it with a belt. Allow the right leg to be released if you're holding on to these muscles. Deepen your breath. And then bend your knee to come back to the center. Release the belt. Left hand to the outside edge of the foot or wrap the two-piece fingers around the big toe. Extend the right leg into your half happy baby. The back of the shoulders are down. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Watch the belly rise and release. And then very slowly, very gently release your legs. Option to have the blocks under your thighs or extend the legs with the feet hip width distance apart or as wide as the mat. The arms are next to you, the palms facing the sky. Flatten the back of the shoulders. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Now you have nothing to do. Bring your attention to the tip of your nose. And watch the sensation of your inhale through your nostrils. And your exhale out. Look for the most open and comfortable place in your body. An open and comfortable space, area that you can relate to inside your body. Associate that space with a color. Find a color that you can connect to in that specific space. That open, expansive, comfortable space. And notice the feeling in that space. Pay attention to the feeling there. Now take that feeling from that specific area and let the color and the feeling pour into your entire body. Let that feeling pour into your limbs, your arms and your legs. Let that feeling of openness, expansion, and comfort go to your heart, opening your heart. Your chest. Carry that same feeling up into your head, your thoughts and your mind. Find bliss and comfort in your thoughts and your mind. Carry that feeling even into your emotions. Start with small movements in your fingers and your toes. Bend your elbows and rotate your wrists. If your body's calling a certain movement, go for it. Maybe you're expanding the arms overhead and the legs all the way in the opposite direction. Feeling length in your whole body, or maybe you're hugging your knees to your chest and swaying side to side. When you're ready, roll to your side into fetal position. Noticing the energy in your body, where the mind is, and how you're feeling. Press with the upper hand to come up into seated with the shoulders back. Sukhasana, easy pose. Anchoring the sit bones rising through the crown of your head. Have one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, and take a deep breath in. Hold at the top of your inhale and a long exhale. Again, a full breath in. One more sip. Open your mouth and let it go. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice today. Namaste. Thank you.